Hi, this is Melissa from Fox and Fig Knits, and today I'm going to show you how I cable without a cable needle. In a project such as the Nouverie Cowl, there's a lot of mini cables, and I found it much faster to go ahead and knit without a cable needle. Now we are going to cable left first, and we are going to cable this knitted column to the left. Now this doesn't matter if your cables are all knits or knits and purls or 1x1 or 2x2. It's all done in the same type of technique. It's just changing the order in which you work the stitches. So instead of putting this first one here on a cable needle and holding it to the front to then work the second stitch, I'm just going to go ahead and insert my needle into the second stitch in the back purlwise. And now I'm going to pinch right here the yarn with my finger and thumb and pull them off of the left needle. And now I'm just going to change the position of the stitches. So we know we want to work that first stitch second. So I go ahead and slide that on my left needle and then slide the remaining stitch on my needle, the left needle. And now in this case I'm going to be purling this stitch and knitting this stitch through the back loop. And that makes one cable left. Let's try that again. I'm going to insert my needle into the second stitch in the back purlwise, pinch the yarn, pull it off the needle, slide that first stitch back on the needle, slide the remaining stitch back on the needle, and now purling this stitch and knitting this stitch through the back loop. And that is a left cable. And these stitches are a little loose just because of this swatch, but you can see here they're all nice and uniform. Now we are going to cable right, so I'm going to get to the spot where I can do that. Oops. Okay, here we are. Now I want the second stitch to be cabled right, so it needs to be on top. So I need to work this stitch first. So I will stick my right needle into the stitch purlwise in the front. Same technique, pinch the yarn, pull it off of your needle, slide the left needle back into this back stitch, which is the old first stitch on the needle, and now slide the remaining stitch back on the needle, which is that knit stitch column, and I'm going to knit this through the back of the loop. Oops. And then purl this stitch. And that is a cable right. And we'll do that one more time here. So I'm going to stick my right needle into the front of, or the purlwise into this second stitch in the front of your work. Pinch the yarn to hold it securely, slide that needle back into the second stitch. Sometimes it gets a little caught up and you can just go ahead and correct it. And then put the remaining stitch back on the needle and knit this one through the back of the loop and purl this stitch here. And now you can see that these are purl rights and these are purl lefts. And that is how I cable without a cable needle.